Hey guys, how are you? This is Tim Walden, and I'm so excited about an offering that we're going to begin in 2014 called Walden's Virtual You. It's really been a vision of ours to say, how can we continue to teach and educate without always requiring someone to make a trip for a hands-on class? Because even though I think there's nothing better, is like, how can we get that information out in a saturated form, but it doesn't require everyone to catch a plane and pay for a hotel room and spend time away from their business and their family. And so we're starting Walden's Virtual U. It's a very intense online learning with a specific topic, each class with a specific topic. And we are going to unveil it with the first topic on studio lighting. Studio lighting is a cornerstone of great portraiture. It's of great art. Lighting has always been a cornerstone, and studio lighting a great cornerstone for portrait photographers. Now, you'll notice that below the word studio lighting is what studio lighting looks like to many people, and that's in Greek. So that's studio lighting in Greek, and it's sort of like it's all Greek to us, but it doesn't have to be. I can promise you that, because my father knew that I was simple-minded, and he had to make it easy for me to learn, and he taught me lighting, and over the years I've worked hard at continuing to grow, and now we want to share that information with you, because mastering studio lighting will expand your vision, it will separate you from the masses, and it'll take your art to a whole new level. Studio lighting is one of those true cornerstones of great portraiture, and so that made sense that we would start right there. Now, you might say, well, what is a virtual U? Well, it's a number of things, but first, it's a lot of resources that you're going to have access to before the first class takes place. We're going to do 4 classes online, 4 different 1-hour classes. You'll join us, and we're going to take topics that are related to studio lighting, and I'm going to flesh them out. So we're going to have 4 live online classes with you. But before that, there's going to be literature and information that is going to help you get saturated with the thought process. We've started with a dozen different videos that are going to be available to you to watch leading up to that first class. Hours of conversation on studio lighting. And this is roll up your sleeves and learn kind of stuff. It's not a lot of fluff. It really is about learning lighting. So you're going to have access to these resources. We have a syllabus that's going to talk about what our goals are. And so that's where we're going to get started. You're going to do a little homework before the first class. And then we're going to get together and we're going to talk about studio lighting. And we're not going to talk about it as if this is what you have to do. We're going to talk about it about understanding lighting so that in different scenarios you understand how many lights you need and what to do with them. Many great portraits, many of my favorites, have been created with one light. But it has to be the right scenario, the right background, the right subject, and it has to be that vision. So we're going to talk about when and how to create great portraits with one light. Sometimes it takes a couple of them. And here, for this particular portrait, the situation and the vision was such that I used 2 lights to create this particular photograph. For this one, it's 3. And you might say, well, I'm not really seeing those lights. Well, that's kind of the point. A lot of times, lights support the vision. They support the scenario that you're in. And so you don't add lights for the sake of adding them, but you add them to fulfill vision and to take your art, your portraiture, to absolute potential. And we're going to talk about that in depth. Now, once you kind of understand studio lighting and how to think about it, then we're going to talk about taking that mindset outside. Now, this class, and I will tell you, is on studio lighting, and that's going to be our primary focus. Just like you might see this beautiful young high school senior here, and you see the lighting on her face in that studio portrait. Look at the little close-up piece where you can see the light on her hair, the kicker down the jawline showing the shape to the face, the light on the mask of her face, really showing off this beautiful young lady. But then once you understand what you're looking for, it becomes much easier and much more evident when you go outside to find it. You can see the same portrait of this young girl in her sports clothing. We just stepped outside the studio, And that's just right outside the studio in front of a small bush there. But we found an angle and a way to recreate that light without taking any lighting outside. You know, if you don't know what you're looking for, you're not going to know when you find it. So knowing what you're looking for is important. So all this will be tied in at the very end with a short conversation on what are we looking for when we go outside, so that when you go outside, you know what you're looking for. So even if you don't have a studio, understanding lighting and how to create it is going to help you understand how to find it and how to see it. All very, very important. What I want you to do, if you want to know more information about these upcoming classes and signing up, now's the time to do it. We're kicking it off in January. Just go to waldencoaching.com, and then you'll see a button at the top that says Shop. Click on that, and there'll be another button at the top that says Seminars. Click on that. You'll see the Walden Virtual U logo there, and you can read about it and get the ball rolling. Come join us. I promise it's going to be an intense learning experience, and it's going to save you a plane ticket, and it's going to save you a hotel room. But we are going to roll up our sleeves, cover a lot of information. Look forward to having you, and thanks so much.